Good evening, everybody. Today, I invite you all for the session of the topic called LTI system representations in time domain. It's nothing but linear time invariant system representations in time domain. Now, this is coming under VTU syllabus, and this is specifically studied by 4th semester EC students under module 2. This also can be studied by any students of any branch or any discipline, right? Whoever interested in doing project, mini project, MTech thesis, maybe PhD, right? All can use this. Whoever interested in time domain representations of signals, right? Linear time invariant systems, time domain representations. Whoever wants to do signal processing projects, they can study this. They can use this all the previous 5 lectures hours into this also, right? 4. Now in all my previous lectures, all the 4 sessions, we discussed about LTI systems, linear time invariant systems in the time domain representations, right? Where we discussed X of n input, H of n, Y of n output, and H of n system impulse functions, where we represented, right, in time domain, right, X of n and Y of n in terms of impulse response, in terms of shifted impulse. We have shown last class how to represent X of n in terms of, right, shifted impulse we shown, and also how to get Y of n, output of LTI systems, in terms of shifted impulse we shown. That is what, for example, if you do it for discrete time in LTI systems, linear time invariant systems, then output you are calculating, right, in the shifted form, you know, X of n convolutions with H of n, which is nothing but convolution sum. Same way, if you find out the output Y of n or Y of t, right, in terms of continuous systems, continuous time domain systems, continuous signals, then output is calculated, only one change. Input is X of t, continuous, Y of t is the output continuous, H of t is the system function. Then output Y of t is calculated by a term called convolutions integral. Instead of convolution sum, it is convolution integral, same properties. Same way we are doing convolution integral also, only here in terms of continuous functions you are doing. In this way, we did last class, right, convolution sum. Right, first half is convolution sum, next half is convolution integral. There we discussed 2 beautiful properties, commutative property and distributive property. Today we will go for associative property and other properties. Very, very beautiful property called associative property actually. This is little lengthy, but it is very interesting compared to the previous 2, commutative and associative, commutative and distributive property. This again, associative property, here also statement you just see. Statement, X of n, linear convolutions of H1n, one group. This both is combined as one group. Into means convolutions, into H2n, right? X of n convolutions of H1n of convolutions of H2n is equal to, here we want, instead of 2 signals, we want 3 signals here, right, to show this. Now, is equal to X of n of convolutions of, again one more combination is H1n, H2n convolutions is the other combination. Here H1n convolutions of H2n is second combination. First combination is, LHS combination is X of n convolutions of H1n. This is the statement. Compared to, it is also like your distributive or commutative. Here 3 signals we need. Now, let us see the proof. Proof is very, very easy. See that LHS one group is there, X of n convolutions of H1n. RHS group is H1n convolutions of H2n. Now, let me, for the proof, what I have to do is 4 important assumptions you have to do. If you do this, later this is over. First take proof. Take LHS group. What is that? X of n, this group. X of n convolutions of H1n as F1n. See that? Let assumptions. X of n in convolutions of H1n as F1m n. And which is equal to F1m later. We will say y n to m only for the simplification purpose. We will see it later. Right? That is the first assumption. Second is see the RHS. What is RHS we need? RHS we need H1 into H, convolutions of H2n. That I will consider and I will read second one. H1n convolutions of H2n as F2n. First one has F1n LHS, second one has F2n. Call it as 1 and 2. Now, define that. We know this. F1n can be defined as, because these two signals are there, F1n is equal to, write the convolution LTI formula, convolution sum formula, shifted impulse formula. Summations, we know this standard formula, k is equal to minus infinity plus infinity, x of k into h1 of n minus k. Call that as equation number 3. What I have done? First I have taken LHS, F1n. Second I have taken RHS, I am saying it as F2n. Now define F1n, you will get like this. Define F1n, I don't want n versus n. For example, F1n is equal to summations, k is equal to minus infinity plus infinity, x of k, h1 of n minus k. This is standard. I want instead of n, m I want. See, this is m I want. What I will do? Just substitute n plus m. F1m is equal to, the rest of the things are same. Summations k is equal to minus infinity plus infinity, x of k, h1 of instead of n, it is m minus k. Call it as equation number 4. These first 4 equations are very, very important. Afterwards, only maths. Now see, what I do? Take LHS. LHS is equal to, what is LHS? LHS is here. See this? LHS is this. X of, take this and prove this, right? Take LHS and prove into RHS. For example, LHS is equal to x of n, linear convolutions with h1n of convolutions of h2n. Consider that. That's what I do. LHS is equal to, see this, x of n into h1n of convolutions of h2n. Call that as f1n. I know this. These two is nothing but first assumption, f1n, which is equal to right now. This can be written as, this is f1n, I know, first equations. f1n into h2n. Now write the formula for this. Write the formula for this. What you will write? Instead of k, I write m, that's all. What is the normal formula? Summations k is equal to minus infinity plus infinity f1n h2 of n minus k. Now here, m I want. M is equal, m I, instead of k I am writing just m. M is equal to minus infinity plus infinity f1m. Instead of k, m I am writing. h2 of n minus k. N minus m. Right? This is only change. What is that? Instead of k, summations, normally k is equal to minus infinity plus infinity f1k h2 of n minus k, no? Instead of k I am writing m. That's all. Right? Summations m is equal to minus infinity plus infinity f1m h2 of n minus m. That's all. Right? That is a standard equation. Now, this I know. This is equal to this. No. Now substitute what is f1m. Next, simplify RHS. Summations m is equal to minus infinity plus infinity. What is f1m? I know this. f1m is nothing but, see this, f1m is equal to summations k is equal to minus infinity plus infinity x of k, h of m minus k. This you substitute there. That's all. Now see, what is f1m? Inside summations, you just substitute that summation. K is equal to minus infinity plus infinity x of k, h1 of m minus k. This is what f1m. h2 of n minus m is there. Write that h2 of n minus m. Call that as equation number 3. Now what you should do? Take these equations, substitute m minus k as r. Substitute this m minus k as one more variable r for simplification purpose. This m minus k as r and interchange the order of summations. Very, very important stage. Substitute m minus k as one more variable r and interchange the summations. That's all. By doing that, what you will get? LHS is equal to summations k is equal to minus infinity plus infinity x of k. You take it outside, write the summation this side. Then summations r is equal to minus infinity plus infinity. This I will tell you later. Right? M is equal to minus infinity plus infinity. When you substitute this, that changes to r is equal to minus infinity plus infinity from here to here. That I will show you later. Now, inside is equal to, what is h1? H1. Yeah, what is m minus k? M minus k is nothing but r. M minus k is nothing but r. Then, what is h2? H2 you write. What is n? N you write n. Minus, what is m? M is nothing but k plus r. K plus r. M is equal to k plus r. That you write. Now, the summations, how do I get from m is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity? How I am getting r is equal to minus infinity plus infinity? You see it here. I have done it. Same like all my previous sessions. Now see, for example, when m minus k is equal to r as substitutions. Now, when m is equal to minus infinity, for example this, when m is equal to minus infinity, r is equal to minus infinity, I should get. How I am getting? That I am doing it. M is equal to minus infinity, substitute here. R is equal to minus infinity. M is minus infinity minus k, which is nothing but minus infinity. Therefore, your summations is now, see this, r is equal to minus infinity. Similarly, when m is equal to next one, when m is equal to plus infinity, then r is equal to plus infinity. How do I get that? See this. Now, when m is equal to plus infinity, m minus k is equal to r is equal to infinity minus k, which is nothing but infinity. Therefore, new infinities are minus infinity to plus infinity. R is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity. This is. Now, inside h1r, h2 of, what is this? This is h1r is there, h2 of n minus k minus r. That I am writing. N minus k minus r. Call that as equation number 4. Call that is equation number 4. LHS is equal to, finally, summations k is equal to minus infinity plus infinity x of k one term. Summations r is equal to minus infinity plus infinity h1r, h2 of n minus k minus r is the second term. Now, somehow you should do this modification and should try to get f2 of n minus k to get RHS. Now, remember this. This whole thing is equal to f2 of n minus k I want. What I will do, just remember, first write f2 of n. We can write f2 of n. f2 of n as, what is f2 of n? In the starting itself I assumed f2 of n is nothing but RHS, h1n into convolutions of h2n. That is what this actually, this convolution. h1n, h2n as, I have taken it as f2 of n. f2 of n, right? That I will make use of that. For example, f2 of n is equal to, write the general equation. Instead of k, you write r, because r we have changed. Summations r is equal to minus infinity plus infinity, h1r. Instead of k is equal to minus infinity plus infinity, h1k, h2 of n minus k, I am writing in place of kr, h1r, h2 of n minus r. This is the equations I want, because here h2 of n minus k is there, f2 of n minus k I want, f2n I am writing. What I want, I don't want f2 of n, I want f2 of n minus k. Instead of n minus k, substituting this, you will get next as f2 of n minus k instead of n minus k. Summations r is equal to minus infinity plus infinity, h1r, h2 of, what is n? N is n minus k. In place of n, you have to write n minus k. That's what this. For example, n in place n minus k I am substituting. Here also you substitute n minus k. That's what I am doing. N minus k minus r. Now it is over. Now this whole thing you just look. f2 of n minus k is nothing but summations r is equal to minus infinity plus infinity h1r, h2 of n minus k minus r. This whole thing is like your expressions for f2 of n minus k. See this whole thing is here. Now see this whole thing. For example, r is equal to minus infinity plus infinity, h1r same, h2 of n minus k minus r. Therefore, this whole thing is substituted as f2 of n minus k, we can substitute, because f2 of n minus k is coming this only. Now, for example, see, that's what I do. Substitute this f2 of n minus k expression into equation 4. Your equation 4 becomes x of n into h1n into h2n is equal to summations k is equal to minus infinity plus infinity x of k. This equations 4. Summations k is equal to minus infinity plus infinity x of k into f2 of n minus k. That's what I am writing. Into f2 of n minus k. This whole thing into f2 of n minus k. What I am getting f2 of n minus k is nothing but this only. This I have proved. Therefore, RHS is equal to, this is standard equations of two sequence x of n into f2 of n. I know this. X of n into f2 of n can be written as summations k is equal to minus infinity plus infinity x of k into f2 of n minus k. This is convolution of the equations for any two sequence. This sequence, this. Now, what is f2n? Substitute now x of n into what is f2n? This f2n is nothing but h1n convolutions of h2n, which is very first itself we assumed RHS. For example, what is f2n? f2n is this one. See that? What is f2n? Now see this f2n is nothing but h1n convolutions of h2n. Therefore, RHS you will get. Now see that? Therefore, this is nothing but x of n convolutions of h1n into h2n. Hence the proof. LHS is equal to x of n convolutions of h of n h1n whole thing convolutions of H2n is equal to x of n convolutions of H1n into H2n. Is the proof. This way associative property is been done, proved for 3 signals. In a processing, if you have more than 1 signal, today's signals processing, you will not have any simple signals, 1 signals, 2 signals. You will always have n signals, 3 signals, 4 signals, like these combinations in real time. That is where this property useful. Now, let me quickly repeat within 4 lines, 4 steps. First, this is associative property, 3 sequences. This is LHS group, x of n into H1n. This is RHS group, H1n into H2n. Now, immediately write 4 equations. First, LHS group, let assumptions, 4 assumptions, x of n into H1n as F1n. And later, let me convert it into M. That is required for simplifications. Then second, RHS, it is H1n into H2n, which is nothing but F2n. For example, this is RHS. Then write F1n, F1m definitions, F1n definitions. For 2 signals is, this is standard equations, k is equal to minus plus infinity x of k, h1 of n minus k. I don't want F1n, I want F1m. In place of n, I want m. F1m is equal to place of n, write m. Call this is equation 1, 2, 3, 4. Then take LHS, your equations LHS. LHS is equal to, this is nothing but F1n. F1n into F2n, H2n, convolutions. Then write standard equations for these 2. Then instead of k, you should write m, that's all. Km is equal to minus infinity plus infinity F1m into H2 of n minus m. Then immediately substitute what is F1m from your previous. M is equal to minus infinity plus infinity F1m, you substitute. This is the substitutions. K is equal to minus infinity plus infinity x of k, H1 of m minus k. This you write as it is. Call it as equation number 3. Now, substitute m minus k as r. This is very, very important. And interchange the order of summations. Then what you get immediately? RHS is equal to summations k is equal to minus infinity plus infinity x of k first. Then second is, after doing these substitutions, you will get this as r is equal to minus infinity plus infinity. This is h1 of m minus k is r into h2 of n minus, what is m? M is nothing but k plus r. Then how I am getting from this summations to this summations? I have shown here in the bracket, you know this, minus infinity to plus infinity r, that is minus infinity plus infinity. Substitute again, h1 r, h2 of n minus k minus r. Call it as equation number 4. I want full this second term as f2 of n minus k, which is there in RHS. That's why I am doing this. Therefore, I will write first f2n standard equations in terms of r. Summations r is equal to minus infinity plus infinity h1 r into h2 n minus r. Now, this n minus, instead of n minus k I want, because n minus k is there. Therefore, substitute f2 of n minus k, wherever n is there, n minus k. Then substitute this whole thing into equations 4. Then your equations 4 becomes, this equations becomes, this 4 becomes, LHS is equal to this term as it is, this whole term is nothing but this, f2 of n minus k. That I am writing, f2 of n minus k. Therefore, this is standard equations for x of n into f2 of n. Then the f2 of n is nothing but this h1n into h2n. Therefore, LHS is equal to RHS. Hence the proof. This is how this property is very, very useful in analyzing 3 signals, which is there in my signal processing. I always, in my project, only 3 signals or more than 3 signals only I have to analyze. Next, the 4th property is very, very simple. Very, very one-line property. Just remember, this is useful in calculation. What is that? Take x of n sequence and convolutions with delta n you do. Then what will happen? Right, you will get answer as delta n into x of n. For example, x of n, any sequence, into impulse functions. Impulse function is 1 at n is equal to 0. At all other points its value is 0. Right. Now when you multiply x of n, any sequence, with impulse functions, you will get our impulse functions into any sequence is equal to sequence itself. Whatever sequence is there, that only will get. For example, see that x of n only will get. See this now with the example, x of n is equal to 1, 3, 1, 0. Now see, 1, 3, 1, 0. This is my signal. Convolute this with delta n. Delta n is I know. Its value is, impulse function's value is, at n is equal to 0, you will get r value. That is infinite value, 1. At all other points, its value is 0. That's what. N not equal to 0, its value is 0. Now this is delta n. Multiply this with this, what will happen? You know this. 1 into all these multiplications. 1 into 1 is 1. 1 into 3 is 3. 1 into 1 is 1. Then you will get, see, this signal is as it is. This is equal to this. When you multiply any signal with shifted impulse, this shifted impulse, you will get the answer as R. Shifted or impulse, not shifted impulse. Impulse into any function is equal to function. That's the property number 4. Right? That's all. Later, I hope I am clear. Right? The other properties will deal in next class. Right? I hope I am very clear. Right? This will be useful to you in solving any signal processing software which includes more than 3 signals or more than 3 signals. Right? Till that, thank you very much for patience listening. And next class I will deal the problems, exponential to exponential, steps to exponential, all that problems will deal. Thank you.